This is about the code po455, po456, po440, po443. I found out this right here was causing it. The purge valve in the under the hood. It wasn't the one on the charcoal canister. All I did was unplug this, push this, unplug this here. It's by pressing on the back, pulling, and I unplug this bottom hose here that goes back to the charcoal canister. Let the engine run. Put your finger over it. If it starts sucking at all, you know the valve's stuck open. And then the other way is to leave the purge valve plugged in, leave this bottom one off, and let the engine warm up. And it shouldn't suck at first when it's cold, but once it's warmed up, it should start sucking air in. If it's not, well, I took this off, took everything off except for the rubber boots. I left those on. I just took these plastic hoses off, and then I sprayed the valve and started tapping it from hitting the top on the palm of my hand. I was just lightly tapping it against the palm of my hand with the WD-40, and both of these hoses I sprayed it into there. Had this whole piece out, was tapping. I could feel the valve moving, the spring moving. And then I tapped it the other way lightly against the other side against the palm of my hand, and put it back in, connect everything, the plug, the hoses, start it up, and it started working. All the check, and I reset the check engine lights, I erased the check engine lights, and they haven't come back on. It's working now. And I did a test again with the plug in on the bottom hose, which goes back here to the charcoal canister. I had that off, and put my finger over it, let it warm up, and finally it started sucking air in, so it's working again now, and all the check engine lights have stayed off. That's just some little test tricks and tips on how to test it. You could test it with it plugged in, this bottom hose off, and your finger over the hose, and it should suck air in once it's warmed up. At first it won't, though, till it's warmed up and idles down, and then it should start sucking air in sometime around after that. And then I would think the first, if it's not a super cold day out, maybe like the first 3-4 minutes of warming up, maybe the first 2-3 minutes, if it's warm out or hot out, should suck air. If it's cold out, it might take 5-10 minutes, or at least 5 minutes. And then okay, that's the one test. And then with it unplugged and this bottom hose off, if you put your finger over it and it's sucking air at all, the valve's stuck open, and then you gotta either try to fix this by spraying some WD-40 in there, like I did with mine, and tapping it on your hand, hitting this part against your hand while the whole thing's off, and then hitting the bottom side to make sure that valve moves, so it frees it up, and put it all back together, and do the make sure the plug's on, and have the bottom hose off of the bottom boot, and do the test. Once it's warmed up, it should start sucking air, but if it's not warmed up, it shouldn't suck air in.